Excellent, thank you, Sophia. And so, dear ones, I would like it if you have any questions, and please bring them forward for me, anything that has come up for you, anything really at all. You know, any experience you have had that would like to share, or any questions about anything that happened for you, anything you did not understand conceptually, or anything you'd like to know more about. Is really what I have done today is just to kind of touch upon a few different things to bring you into an awareness of the area in which we are working and to see what comes forward for you. Peace. Oh, well, you're all so enlightened, you know. I must be out of a job.
I was about to say thank you for bringing in this idea, energy, or for whatever reason, I really got our core essence of our humanness and how our human self, and really developing that connection to our human self, our human self-mastery is like a bridge to the other higher realms as well. And I don't know, because we're in the time of Imbolc and Bridie or whatever, but for me, really connecting to my inner child and that inner human and the underworld journey of our sort of shadow fears. Where as a child we've not developed a particular skill or ability or whatever, because maybe of parental or group peer ways or the inner child thing. For me anyway, I've got this really strong understanding of how I can develop my inner child and give her strength.
That's it.
To be able to bridge all the other bits.
That's right. And did you, that's right. And did you, and really how you got that was, you see, when you had that overview, you can't solve the problem from inside the problem. So when you're a human being, here you are, and everyone's busy praying, in a sense, as though there is some external being going to come along and lift you out of the mire and put you on a nice dry bit in the sun. But actually what's going to happen is you're going to embody the divine presence. It's there all the time. I'm not saying don't pray. Far from it. The more you can open yourself to that presence through prayer, the better. But it's understanding the mechanism of what is going to happen. There is this mentality, and you will see it quite a lot, God did this for me. God has did this for me. But actually you did it. If you really examine the situation, you will discover that what happened because of your willingness, because you moved the blocks, because you were willing to embody and fully bring in that divine presence yourself into your life. No one is going to do anything for you, ever, in truth. And I don't mean that in a depressing sort of way. Oh, beautiful people who all serve each other and are always making each other lovely cups of tea and giving each other nice massages and having beautiful counseling sessions. I don't mean that that is useless. That is wonderful. That is all necessary. But as any good counselor in here, or any priestess, or anyone working with the light will, I'm sure, verify for me, is that with an unwilling patient, you can do nothing. It doesn't matter how wise you are, how many tricks you use. You can get them to laugh, cry, roll over, jump up and down, do somersaults, but they'll go home the same person unless they want to change. And that is the bit I'm talking about. That is where we are working, is how do you get someone to want to change? How do you work inside yourself in the bit of you that just plain doesn't want to? Might wear the garb, might have a nice smile, might get the certificate, might do the thing, have the lingo, say the right words. But actually, you and I both know that there are places, every single person has a kind of, a horse that refuses one jump or another somewhere. And I'm not saying all horses have to take all jumps, but it'll be the jump you actually really wanted it to take. And it is that truth, that fierce ruthlessness of being able to exactly look with compassion, and I'm going to use all those words, fierce, ruthless compassion, all at once. All that willingness to go, got you, there you are, I can see you, and I do love you. Don't get scared. Don't run away just because I said it that strongly. It's that balance. That part of you is perhaps hiding. I'm not working with any specific individuals. I just know it's true for all of you that you need this skill. And sometimes it can kind of come up and bite you from inside, or it can be something, really tricky to identify. Maybe it's, maybe it's in your, for example, a very classic one is your relationship with money. Oh no, I don't need money. No. Yeah. Can you lend us a quid? Money's dirty. Look at that rich person, honestly. They must have done something wrong to be that rich. Attitudes about money. Feelings about money. What money has come to symbolize in your culture. The god of money that everybody worships. Well, not, of course, anybody in here. Of course not. But you see, but then again, you're in that culture, and so you're forced to have a relationship with money. And so you have to clean up your act. Otherwise it's going to get you one way or the other. And so there is a very good place often to work. Or the other one, very classic, is of course love affairs, relationships. How your partner trips you up, it's all going to trip you up in that same place every time, or whatever it might be. Being able to own, just to be fiercely, ruthlessly, and compassionately honest with yourself. Because as Sakara has said, if you're unkind to your child, it doesn't work. He or she won't change unless you got some love. Unless you hold yourself with love, you can't change. You can't bash yourself into change. Well, actually that ends up happening sometimes. You literally do. You fall off something, or you have a bad accident, or you just crash into change because you have to. It's not the best way, is it? It's not what you really want. You'd like to be smooth operator. You like me to change that bit? Just like that, I can do it. Watch me bring my fierce, ruthless, compassionate, truthful warrior out. I can do it because I know how. And everybody can. You just need to know how. And you need to know when you're being challenged. So it's everything that isn't love. Anybody got any of that? Yeah, bit quiet. I know. We don't want to say it. No, I am love. You just did a meditation, Chung Fu, and we all said we are the living embodiment of love. Now you want us to say we got everything else. That's right. All of it, the whole lot, everything, the whole lot, the light rainbow and the dark rainbow and all the way around again. Why? Because you're human. Because you're multidimensional. And that goes all the way to the light and all the way to the dark. And you need it all. You're human. It's a very special thing to be. You're not stuck up in the gods, and you're not stuck down in the underworld. You are a movement and a flow. You have access to everywhere, so long as you are very boundaried and very conscious, of course. And so when you go down, you got to take your up part down with you. And when you go up, you got to remember the down part is waiting for you should you slip or fall.
Chung Fu, I've had a couple of really powerful experiences recently where I've just been as high as a kite. I've been completely blessed by so many beautiful beings and just, somewhere else. And then almost immediately afterwards, I've just come crashing down into the stickiest, gloopiest part of myself.
Perfect example. Thank you, Jen. That is it. And that's somebody who's done a lot of work on herself and can just say that because it's the fact. You see, you live in such extreme times. It's perfect for exactly what we're talking about, to really find out inside you what you got in there, your capacities. Now hopefully, I think, hopefully, otherwise you wouldn't be there, Jen. You got out of your sticky mess, you used your tools, you used your crystal balls, you did some singing and sounding. You knew how to work your way out of there, yes?
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. How honest can you get, you see? But she is sitting there. And that's the thing, is that it is a work in progress. That's quite right. Because you can only grow in measure of your honesty and your willingness to own what's really going on. Because I promise you that if you don't know what's really going on, you're not going to really grow. You can think about growing, you can have a nice idea about growing, you can write about it, draw about it, you can do all sorts of things, you can write a song about it, you can dance it, you can do, but you won't be actually growing until you own what's stopping you, what's the difficulty, what's hurting, what's making you angry? What's really annoying you? Some of the best bits in my classes are when somebody sits in front of me and I can't stand you, Chung Fu. You're really annoying me now. I've been doing this for and nothing's changed. And that's the best bit. That's when they're starting to change. Because they dare to tell me they hate me, can't stand me. And then there are others that don't tell me, but I know they do anyway. Because that's the other thing. You got to be that Chung Fu in you that doesn't mind the other part of you throwing rotten eggs at you and saying, stop sitting on that pedestal and thinking you got it all sorted out. Try being in my shoes. I got one of them stuck in the tar. What you gonna do about that, Chung Fu? That there's that part of you, and there always will be, and you need it. It's true. There is that part of you that is never gonna get, you're never gonna wear that pair of shoes. It's just not gonna get them stuck because he's not even gonna put them on. That's right. Sneaky. But it's true. Because that part of you doesn't actually, it doesn't need to put those shoes on. It's got another pair. One that goes whoo, along the silver highway. And you can get a lift with that part of you. And leave your shoes stuck in the tar. And just fly, It's understanding how to use all the powers that are in you. To really, to charm yourself, to magic yourself, to love yourself, to heal yourself. Just know you're going to do it. That's all that matters. That's what makes you strong. Look inside. Perhaps come and share with these beautiful people and some spirit beings. But when you go back, remember it's all inside you. Share what you've got. Share it absolutely to the hilt. I tell you what, it don't do you any good to just hang on to it. Share it all. Share your wisdom. Share your love. Give, give, give. Be as generous as you can be. Because it's all coming back to you, beloved. You're not going to lose a thing. You see, even those who have experienced abuse, the ultimate turnaround comes when they realize it was all a setup in the first place. It was. And that actually they made that decision. They weren't, there was no trick. Oh yes, in the humanity, in the child is allowed to have all those feelings of utter rage and outrage and horrendous feelings that have to be cycled. But at a certain point, the human being is ready to understand how perfect that journey has been. How no part of the wisdom they have attained, or the strength, or the healing, or the power to love could have come about without any single part of that journey. Then that person is ready to take full responsibility for that life in all its aspects. To see the perfection, to own everything, and that is healing. And healing only ever happens inside the being. I love that so many beautiful souls want to be healers. But I love even more that they understand what healing really means. That the job of the healer is to stay whole inside themselves. And to guide that person who comes towards them, towards their own wholeness, their own journey of becoming whole, which only they can enact with the divine. And that's why it's a work in progress, isn't it, Jen? Because there is no speeding up of that journey. It is your life. It's what you're here to do. To become whole. It always amuses me when some of my beloveds say their partners refuse to go to therapy because they're fine, thank you very much. Because actually there's barely a human being here who is entirely whole. I don't mean in this room, I just mean on the planet. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Your job is to arrive with all of you. When all of you arrives, you are your God, Goddess self. You are whole and you are complete. And you might still stay, because it becomes glorious at that point. You become your true and whole being. That's why you're here. What a wonderful thing that is. It is so exciting. And those of us spirits who come to enjoy that process with you, we come because it is exciting. And because at this time in your world, there are so many more people waking up. It is a very special time, a bridge time between two eons, a time of transformation and change in so many expressions.
May
Peace.
I ask about the next wave of new souls coming in?
Are you talking about, for example, coming from other star systems and so on?
Being in, the new babies being born now.
Now, they are Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are the main, and Syrians. Pleiadians, Syrians, there are some Arcturians and Andromedans as well. Mostly Pleiadians though at the moment, because they have a lot of resilience, they have a lot of experience with Earth lives, there's a lot of strong connection between Pleiadian life and Earth life, and there's a lot of purpose between Earth and Pleiades that is still enacting at a cosmic level. So there's a dialogue, if you could imagine a relationship that is very evolved between these stars and the Earth. And so the beings who are coming in, you find that they have a consciousness that is very open, very willing, very easy. They're very fluid. They know how to flow between situations. They know how to communicate. They are, very communicative and very uplifting. They have a positivity because that energy that is coming in now from Pleiades onto Earth is preparing for the next era, a very different kind of creation.
Thank you.
Have you had experience yourself, dear one?
Yes, my granddaughter was born in November.
Yes.
And she's just joy. And love.
That's it. Wonderful. And they come to those who understand them, you see. It's very important, the choice of family for Pleiadians. Very important. Sometimes, here and there, Pleiadians have a bit of karma. And when a Pleiadian has some karma, you know about it because there is a kind of a disturbance in the energy field, and yet you can feel that overriding sense of a brilliance, of a light, of a lightness. And so yes, the ones who have some karma are those who have been in Earth lives and perhaps got things twisted up, had difficulties, not quite known how to work the Earth energies. Some of them are also returning, but there are a wave of new souls as well. Has anyone else here experienced that presence coming into your family of the waves of beings from other stars and other galaxies? It will become more and more obvious over the next 10 years.
I have a question. Would you have some advice on how best for us in our blind state to discern? I feel that discernment is one of our greatest tools at the moment, whilst we're still in this quite fledgling stage of our kind of spiritual evolution and awakening. And with so many of us working with various spirits and deities and demiurges and so on and so forth, spirits, and a huge kind of library of metaphysical beings that we also encounter through our either our intended spell work or things that just arise. And as humans, we're so easily spellbound. You know, if there was 100 of us in this room, and there was a 7-foot, you know, luminous bright being, I would probably bet that a good 98% of the people in that room would presume that it was benign. Now, obviously, I understand that with the dark and the light, we have to have equanimity, and that's part of my path. So I do really understand that. However, I also think that we need to take care to not give power over to certain things. You know, bless and work with it. So, again, my question is, what would be your advice to better sculpt this tool of discernment when we are coming across certain beings, deities, whatever you want to call it, in front of us?
It's a good question, Diwen. Each one has your own degree of discernment already developed, and the question really arises for those who are perhaps less protected. For example, I see that you yourself, probably through that very practice that you are talking about, you have quite a lot of protection around you. I actually don't think, though I think there have been some incidents in the past, I don't think at this point in your evolution you're going to be hoodwinked, if you see what I mean. How it happens is that you know, the danger, if you like, of those who might perhaps masquerade as beings of light is only when they would take energy, siphon energy, drain energy, and take away the power in that sense of the energy from unsuspecting human beings who come to perhaps receive some information or some healing and love. And that's where the danger lies. Now, I would like to say to you something here, and there's a wonderful saying, and it is that, you know, every student gets the teacher they deserve, and every teacher gets the students they deserve. You know, I was talking to you about the perfection of all things, in that sense that, you know, if it is your time to have an experience of being bumped along a rather abrasive bottom of a slightly hellish place, I assure you that in the great scheme of things, you are going to come out the other side slightly bruised, the bruises will heal, slightly grazed, the grazes will heal, but a lot the wiser when you come through it than by sort of sitting in a corner and saying, well, I don't know about that thing over there, so I'm just not going to go to that meeting at all. That within you and within every person there is guidance, there is always that part that knows, a bit like we were doing with the exercise today. Everyone in the room did that exercise so well, of seeing their human self, of knowing what was going on there and how much love that part of themselves needed. The reason you're asking the question is that you do live in this culture where many, many spirits, many beings are coming through at this time, and there are hungry spirits as well as noble spirits coming through. But it does come down to that. As soon as you are in a space and you start to feel your energy is draining out, you leave the space. Because deep inside yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean there's something terrible going on in that space, by the way, because it might not be happening from the leader of the space, it might be happening from your neighbor, or it might be all sorts of things that are going on. The point is, when in doubt, to understand that is a signal within you that is coming from, you could say it's fear, maybe it's, you know, there's an aspect of fear in there. But it's to realize, if you feel your energy draining out of you and you think, I just don't feel safe here, why would you stay any longer? understanding what it is to create safety for yourself is very important. I know you know that. Those who don't know that learn pretty quickly. Really, there is no situation that is, shall we say, not vibrationally suitable. If you find yourself in it, there must be a resonance there that has drawn you. Now that resonance can last 5 minutes while you say, no, 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 and no. Very nice to meet you, goodbye. You know. Or you say, maybe, not entirely sure, I think I'll just keep my protection up for a little bit. I'll kind of watch what's going on here, see how I feel, see how much love I can sense in the atmosphere. See if I get to feel safe, if my body relaxes. There are many signals within the being. There are also the thoughts that come into your mind, as well as the feelings that come into your heart, and the sensations that come into your body. You are made as the most amazing instrument of perception. Of course, there are also reasons why people get charmed, hoodwinked, because of what I'm going to call vanities within them, because they are seeking something that is in itself empty, that, you know, that's not going to lead anywhere. And these people, perhaps whoever they are, they also are genuinely thinking they need this thing, and they are making a reality around it, and everybody is having a party, and everyone goes home and wonders why they're still hungry. There are many, many ways. The thing is to be discerning but not judgmental, because things can be wrapped in many different flavors that taste sweet to begin with, and then, ooh, they got a bitter center. But they're all good teachings. The thing to remember is that if you have a system of connection to your higher self, you directly, not through anyone, you, just you, how can you go wrong, beloved? But if you displace your power and you let someone take you that you are not sure about, while giving over your power, you are 100% responsible for that. And you're going to learn that through that experience. And that's going to be a really valuable experience. One of the most valuable, even though perhaps all your life, that terrible thing that happened to me, you have no idea how much it was. I mean, it was awful, and then, you know, and then this and that. Fantastic. You'll never forget it. The lesson has literally, it's branded itself into your heart, and you are the safest person ever. No one's ever going to hoodwink you ever again. Nothing is ever what it seems, really. The more you have faith in your own connection to the very most sacred of sacred sources of the divine, the safer you are, beloved. And also the better you can, shine that light, because you are safe. You are so safe, because no one's ever going to knock you off what is essentially all yours. It is being walked by you, it has been owned, gained, reached for, and embodied by you. No one can take it away. It's all yours. So discernment still matters, because you get a little, I want a bit of that, arm reaching in, trying to take. But you notice it very quickly, and you just go, get off. Because you don't stand on ceremony once you know what's what. Because truth has a flavor to it, which once you know it, nothing else tastes quite the same. Peace, beloved. I don't think you're going to be needing, to worry about that. But thank you for your question. It's a very good question. And the other subject is psychic self-protection, a very important art. Understanding your light body. Realizing some people understanding your light body better than you could be dangerous for you. But if you understand your light body well, again, it all comes down to self-knowing, self-empowerment, self-connection, being 100% present. No one could get in because you're the only one with the key. No one gets to get a piece of you unless you decide so. And there it is, there's the rub. If you allow yourself to be open, and there's your discernment, that's right, very necessary for you to know when to be open and when to be psychically protected. And the wonderful thing is that there are methods of psychic protection which allow you to be open in those kind of slightly gray areas where you're not quite sure. And so, very simply, for example, the one that I often share, you have a blue circle, a blue, almost you could say a layer, like a substance that shapes itself all around all your contours. It's absolutely encloses you right down to your toes, this beautiful layer, about 6 inches of blue, kind of, it's mobile, it moves, it has texture, you could taste it almost, it's very, very elastic, it's a blue kind of body, it's a body of light. Around that, a gold one, bit bigger, you're about this big by now, you know, made of light, moving, very mobile. And then as far as your arms, that gold goes all the way out. And at that very edge of the gold, see a mosaic of mirrors. They move too. It's a pretty glinty spectacle, really. Your body of light, your beautiful protection, your suit of light, your light armoring. That mosaic of mirrors is the final touch. On the edge, moving as you move, glinting in the sun. And when an energy comes towards you, it's rather delicious if they're nice people, because they pay you wonderful compliments, because their beauty shows up in the mirror and they think it's you. Oh, you look wonderful today. Oh, thank you. I actually didn't brush my hair at all this morning, but thank you very much. On the other hand, the one that's got a little sneaky, kind of a little bit of a something going on, just doesn't even, ooh, she looks awful today. I think I'll walk past. Good idea. You walk right on past, beloved. Magic of mirrors, dear one. Get good at it. Have a practice. Sometimes painting it on is a good feeling. You know, you can slip it on like an elastic stocking. You know, play. Very good. What a delight it has been to meet you all. And for my beloveds to have come, thank you. Who have come to support, I think, and just partake. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, just to say that actual meditation is available.
What does he... You mean the psychic protection?
Yeah.
Yes, there you are, the actual one. Not the one I did, the actual one. You know, I'd become actual on a CD. That's actual. Never mind me.
Yeah, there's over 50 meditations available if you want them.
That's it. Well, this is the thing, you see, to practice your mental and emotional and physical disciplines, to follow through, to have them in your mind. And you may have them already, your own style, but certainly we offer you a particular style of mantric meditation where you can kind of find some phrases that are going to serve you really well in moments of challenge and difficulty, because it's all about how you're looking at it. It's all about how you feel inside. How do you see your life? Is it a wonderful opportunity for more and more growth? Is it beckoning to you and making you feel excited? Are you waking up in the morning feeling this is a fantastic life? I'm going to do it more, I'm going to get more, I'm going to do more, I'm going to expand more. Are you feeling like that? Because you should be.
Okay.
And you can be. It is a matter of spiritual practice. The whole of your life really is a spiritual practice. Enjoy it. And some of those meditations can really help you enjoy it. And I'm sure all of you also have other methods. You know, this is the thing that, what is your name, beloved? Your last question, the lady?
Oh, me. Sorry, I've got one contact lens and I can't see.
But anyway, your question was really coming from that place of, you know, there are so many spirits, there are so many teachers, there are so many ways, there are so many meditations. Which ones should we choose? And the answer is just trust your heart. Just allow yourself to feel what draws you. Don't worry about it. What you need is going to come to you, and it's going to be a little bit from here, and a little bit from here, and a little bit from here. And you're going to do it your way. And in the end, that is going to be many ways that become your way, individually and uniquely yours. Peace, dear ones. If there are no more questions, I am going to release you. No more questions. I think you have all been extremely attentive. Next time we gather together, I do hope that some of you will return, and we shall go deeper into some of what we are talking about, and we will see what your spirit guides want, and what those who are gathered here in this beautiful sacred space would also like to bring forward for you.
Thank you.
So I give thanks to all your guides and helpers, all your family, relations and ancestors in the spirit world. All those who have gathered here with you in the warmth and beauty of this sacred space. Thanking them all for the love they bring. Thanking them all for the healing and the movements of their own souls which have happened today. We give thanks to the ascended beings, beautiful souls within the oversoul of humanity, bringing to each of you answers to questions, wisdom, strength and power, love and healing. We give thanks to angelic and archangelic beings, to deities in all traditions and expressions of the divine feminine and the divine masculine brought forward through each of you, through your lineages of experience, through your walks through many lives. We give thanks to the solar deities, the solar logos, the power of creation coming through from the central sun, through the solar lords, both female, and through all of you at this time. We give thanks to the elemental deities of earth and air, fire and water, the presence of all the beings of nature, standing people of the trees, to the spirits of the plants, bringers of medicine and healing, food and nourishment, to the keepers of the Akashic records, to the spirits of the stones, crystals, rocks, minerals and gems, for all the information that comes through to each one to assist you to walk your path with integrity, with truth and honor, and to connect to your higher self. Giving thanks to all the allies in the primal worlds of nature, the wonderful presence of the spirit animals, birds, water creatures, insectivores, serpent beings, and of the communicators within the worlds of light, fairy folk, elven people, pixies, leprechauns, and ancient archetypal energies of dragon, unicorn, phoenix, firebird, and of the extraterrestrial presence of beings of other dimensionality, extraterrestrial and starseed beings, we thank you all for your presence and for the gifts and blessings that you have brought to each one of the beloveds here present, to empower each one for their highest good, for the evolution of souls. Giving thanks for the overlighting protection now and in all times around each and every one. The love and blessings, peace and grace, power and strength, wisdom and inspiration, healing and compassion, the all-in-one divine presence deep within. And may the living spirit that is within all things come forward within each one, bringing you the full presence of your higher self, enabling you to open your heart to the beauty that is within you, to bring forward all the colors of your soul into this world, to express the love, the beauty, the harmony, the truth, abundance, and the deep understanding that is beyond the mind. Blessings and peace, dear ones. Blessings and peace. By all means, sing to your guides and helpers as I leave you today. Thank you all for coming. Blessings, peace.